Feeling so cold with that ice on my neck. Don't need a label to tell me what's next. They going crazy when I do my set. You was in debt while I'm counting up checks. I make it rain, I make it wet. She give me brain, she give me neck. I make it rain, I make it wet. She give me brain.
Yeah, it's so sweet. Cheers for coming on.
No problem.
Is this the first time we've met? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the first time we've met.
I think I seen you at Longitude at the Sicko stage, was it?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't get chatting to you. Is this your first time Belfast as well?
My first time at Belfast as well. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about it?
Belfast is cool. Like it's like a mini London, and I love London. So it's like I like the vibe here. Mm-hmm. It's like London, but like a bit less busy.
Yeah.
So.
Because what was the crack last night then? You were at the
JLOL was opening, supporting the game, and he brought me and Jordan out for to perform one of our songs that's coming out. So I have a song coming out with JLOL and Jordan Aditunji. So yeah, reception was good. People liked it. People were vibing with it. So.
Because we were sort of saying before that like it's weird that more people haven't done like collaborations like that, because that's the kind of thing that without even hearing it I'd be like, fuck, I need to listen to this.
Yeah. Proud Solo, that's all I need to say. Proud Solo.
Did he produce the track?
He's like what do you call it? Executive producer? Yeah. Executive producer. So like he got all the features and stuff.
That's probably like the dream like scenario to play it as well in front of like a crowd like that.
Yeah. I love performing. The best part from music for me is performing. When I'm on stage, I feel like I'm at home. So.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because there's people I speak to who are such great performers. Like I remember I did an interview with Jafar ages ago, and he was like, "Nah, I prefer being in the studio." And I was like, "What?" Because he's just like in his element when he's on stage.
Yeah.
But do you prefer being on stage in the studio?
Like it's subjective. Like I like being in the studio, obviously, to make the song. Like because I can't perform if I don't have a song. But like, but like when I'm on stage, I'm most comfortable. Anything to do with music in general, like anything I'm doing, that's where I feel most comfortable. But in regards performing for sure is where my heart is the most. Yeah.
Do you think that it's when the album, because it dropped at kind of a weird time? I think if the album had dropped a couple months before, you would have maybe done all
last
the festival
year.
Last summer. Yeah. Do you think the timing of it was maybe a bit off then, or?
I'm not really, the thing about me is I'm not really pressed for anything. I just want to make music and get it out. So like I don't really care if like I'm not really putting stuff out so people can like I don't pay attention to all like booking and stuff. So I just putting the music out whenever it's ready and whenever I feel like it needs to be dropped type shit. So yeah, last summer was when like you said the album dropped. So like if I get booked for stuff like that, it's a plus, but like it's not what I'm thinking of when I'm making the songs. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and like I thought the concept of the album was like really interesting. Super difficult to execute, I think, because it's literally like I don't think I've seen anybody in Ireland make such a diverse album, because you literally go from like afrobeat to trap to drill, it's like pop stuff in there. It was that just to show everything that you can do, essentially. That's
me. Anytime I release a project, that's how it's gonna sound. That's just how I am. Like I do Afrobeat, I do trap, I do all like, so that's just how that's my sound basically, if you want to call it that. That overall bouncing from genre to genre is what I want to make my sound. So
yeah.
You always have like that kind of variety on everything.
I've always from day one, from the first day I picked up a pen, it's been me dipping into different genres and experimenting. So like I kind of like built my writing skills up equally on each genre kind of. So yeah, I don't like it when I'm not able to express, especially for a project, my first project as well. I really wanted to cover everything that I've been working on type shit. So
I think it kind of gives you a bit of versatility, whereas if there's like, if I were to see you featuring on a single with someone, I wouldn't be able to be sure like what's going to sound out, because you've got that variety. Like if I seen you on a track with, I don't know, a drill artist, like I couldn't be sure you're going to be doing drill. You could be doing the hook. You know what I mean? It's like it's sort of hard as hell, but that sort of unpredictability I think is good. And
because of that reason, you're going to listen to the song to find out what I'm doing. So that's another plus.
Yeah.
So
what have you thought since the album's dropped? Because it's been, you've had a lot of time to digest and stuff. Are you happy with the reception and how everything went?
The reception is fantastic. My first 1 million streams. So I know streams isn't everything, but
that's mad though.
A lot of people don't, you know what I mean? People be doing music way longer than I am. and don't be getting those numbers. I mean, but yeah, the reception is crazy. People listen to the songs to this day. We're actually only starting to finish the rollout for the album, so this month we're getting new music out. So yeah, reception's been crazy.
Because what I would say as well is there's like, honestly, there's not a huge amount of artists that would be in the Irish scene that I would actively listen to in my free time. Like, I have a big interest in it and I'm always looking out for new things, but there's not a lot that would be in my rotation. But songs like Outside and Bang, I would actually genuinely listen to.
Yeah.
Is like replay value like super important for you when you go to make those sort of tracks?
Me and my manager were just talking about this literally. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was literally yesterday. So yeah, replay value is a big thing. Every time I'm writing music, I like to leave like a cliffhanger in some songs. Like for M's Interlude, you hear that cliffhanger, like there's no second verse. It kind of just like ends abruptly. And people go back to listen to it again because of that. So that's kind of like a style that I'm implementing in my writing. So yeah, replay value is a big thing. I always be thinking of that when I'm making my songs.
And yeah, like I've seen you in the studio with quite a lot of big people and stuff. Like, do you feel like the wheels are starting to get going? Because I always think that it's never straight after an album.
Yeah.
That the big things start happening. It kind of happens incrementally. People discover it a while after.
Yeah.
But do you feel like you're going in the right direction now?
I'm definitely going in the right. Like I said, I feel like from the outside, people always see, they see people like Lil Nas. Even Lil Nas been making music before that song that popped him off. But like people always see the song that blows you or whatever. So pause. Like I've been making music for a while. I'm making music like 3-4 years. But like I feel like I'm getting there eventually. Like obviously when I dropped the album, I didn't even expect. First of all, I didn't expect it to be at the magnitude that it got, and second of all, I didn't expect anything to come from it either. So I just have the mindset. I just have the mindset that I'm going into the studio today to make music, and I'm going to put all my, like, literally everything that, whatever scenario I'm in, into that song. Or whatever happens. Literally, if nothing happens off something I drop, if I'm happy dropping it, then that's what matters to me. Literally, basically, what I'm trying to say is I don't really be looking from the outside. People want to see a lot of stuff happening and that, but like I'm just trying to say, for me personally, my music, I'm more focused on making sure that people like can relate to the stuff that I'm making. It's like, yeah.
I think that's probably the best approach to have. I feel like, would you ever think about like if you did have that one song that blew up and it was like in like Afrobeat or like one kind of style?
It's coming. It's definitely coming.
Would you like feel like a bit of a pressure to then continue making songs like in that style?
Oh, in that genre. That I actually think this a lot. It depends. Like the way I'm trying to push myself as an artist, I don't think that if Afrobeat popped off, I wouldn't be able to do, because I'm very versatile. It's not like the genres that I'm doing aren't. It's not like my hip hop is better than my Afrobeat, in my opinion. Anyway, I don't feel like that. So if I dropped the Afrobeat track and I got magnitude, great. That's a bigger platform for me to start drawing in hip hop fans. You know what I mean? That's the way I'm looking at it. So I'm just going to. If you want to fuck with Evans Jr., you need to be open-minded and know that I do a lot of genres. If you don't listen to the hip-hop, don't have to listen to the hip-hop, but I'm going to continue dropping literally like that.
But I think that's good, though, because there's so many artists say about like how fans are always pining for the first thing they put out. Like I know, like for example, like Flatbush Zombies or like, I don't know, all these acts, they'll be like, the first album is the best, and everybody be like, oh, you need to drop something like that, and it's like, well, I'm different now, I've moved on, and like, I think with you, because you've got so many different distinct styles, you're never going to drop something that's the same as the last thing.
Exactly,
and do those sort of things worry you, or are you just sort of like, right, I'm doing my thing, I've got tunnel vision, I'm just going with it?
I'm just writing. I just be writing. Literally, that's what I be doing. So when I'm making music, I just get into my zone. Whatever vibe I'm feeling is what it is. I don't force anything. So I don't be thinking I'm going into the studio to make a hip hop song today. We might make an Afrobeat track, might make a drill track, whatever. But that's my mindset when I'm creating the music.
Do you like end up listening to like a really wide variety of music as well?
Oh, I listen to a very big variety of music, very, very, very wide variety of music. I listen to from pop to obviously hip hop, obviously Afrobeat. Then I listen to like
I heard you were into heavy metal.
Nah, but I do listen to some rock songs though. I'm trying to implement rock into trap. People are doing it already, but I'm liking the way, like, I experiment a lot with my writing. So like I try and mix cross genres and stuff. You can hear that with bang, with the drill and the trap. So like yeah, like I'm always trying to cross and mix. Like the creative process for me is just fun. It's just like a blank canvas, and I'm just throwing paint on it, and wherever ends up like.
Who were some of your favorite people to work with? Because you collaborate a lot, and like I think one of the most natural ones I've seen was on Borderline with Sam Ojo. Like it just seems so seamless. Who would be some of the people you just worked with that it just every time it just comes out so smooth?
Oh, you want to get names?
Yeah, well, just like who do you enjoy working with, or has there been someone that you maybe worked with once when you've been elsewhere? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not gonna give names because obviously people watch this and I don't see their name. It's gonna be long, but like my friends, I have a clique in Dublin. I'm not from Dublin myself, but I have a clique in Dublin of like artist friends. So it ranged from like Lilo Blues, Hair Squared, range to Jafaris, then Samojo. So like I have loads of it. I feel like the most important thing about music is chemistry. Like before you even hop on the song, you guys have to have like a similar wavelength, or else the song is just gonna sound forced. So before we even do anything, well, to answer your question, it's the people that have the most relationship with that the songs work out smoothest. So. Yeah.
Do you find it like better working with a lot of people in the studio, like so you can bounce off people?
Nah, I like just working. Sometimes I don't even like being in the studio with the person I'm about to feature with, depending on who it is. So I just do my bit and then send it off, let him vibe, then send his bit over. But when it comes to studio time, it's either I'm by myself in my room, I record and then I'll send it off to get mixed and mastered, or it's strictly me. Any of my close friends and solo, of course. And then I don't like, some people like having girls in the studio and stuff like that. That shit, I find that shit distracting. I be getting like, no. Well, because I'm from Longford as well. Something about me is I'm from Longford. There's not much socializing. Growing up, there wasn't much socializing happening in Longford. So I'm kind of like an introvert. If you see me with Timmy, you'll literally see that Timmy is like when it comes to, because a lot of people like know me and Timmy as like a duo type shit when it comes to going out and stuff. But he's the extrovert, so he'll be the one to make conversation, the one to go out there. But me, I'm just a weirdo. Like I just like being by myself, headphones on, listen to music or whatever, working on music and stuff like that. So yeah, Longford, there wasn't much socializing going on. It was only when I moved to Dublin that I started meeting a lot of people, started working with a lot more people and stuff like that.
Is that like part of the reason why you got so into music? Because you went...
Oh, my parents are African as well, Nigerian, so I wasn't allowed to... Some of my friends be telling me stories of how they got drunk at the age of 14 in some disco. I wasn't allowed to do any of that shit, so I was home all the time.
Yeah. What do your parents think? Are you making music?
Very supportive. Being supportive from day one. Yeah, being supportive from day one. So my dad made me start the piano in my church when I was younger, and that's what kind of kicked off everything, the music. So from the piano, I heard about Justin Bieber, and then I really liked what he was doing because he was getting girls, and I was young. I was trying to get girls too, so I was trying to say, okay, maybe it's the music that's making them get girls. So I tried to, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then that's where it all kicked off, and then I started like really falling in love with music.
Do you still play the piano?
Yeah, I played the piano, drum, well, kind of drums, guitar, and kind of saxophone. Saxophone was the last instrument I picked up to learn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how recent was that?
Like 3 years ago. But when I say picked up to learn, I picked it up for like 2 weeks and then I put it back down. But I could play a few notes.
Like Jordan had said, didn't he say that he plays like
trumpet?
Trumpet. That's it. Like when you were saying about the collaboration, I was thinking, fuck, if you come out with the piano, and
you guys have got to release a trumpet sax collab.
Trumpet trap. Like,
that's got to happen.
But yeah, like I guess. It's always good when you have like an environment that's like healthy for sort of doing that music, because I spoke to so many people actually that their parents haven't been so supportive and they found it quite difficult. But
yeah, don't get me wrong. Like my parents are supportive, but there was times in because I'm in college now. I'm only 20. I'm in college now. I'm doing music in BIM. I'm not sure if you've heard of BIM. Yeah, so I'm doing songwriting in BIM. Originally, I was doing engineering for 2 years, and my parents didn't want to hear anything about music because my grades were not like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So in that sense, they're supportive, but like they won't be like, okay, drop everything else you're doing and whatever. But it took me a while to kind of like sit them down and be like, yo, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm seeing results. So yeah.
Yeah.
At the end, we settled for you going to college, but you're gonna have to do something in college. So I just do music.
Because I guess, like, how do you say to them, like, this is going well? It's like,
yeah,
like look at Spotify, because I don't think my man dad would understand if I was like Spotify and shit, or like, oh, I'm doing a song with this guy, because like doing something with S1, for example, like that's a big deal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But did they get that or?
Nah, they don't get any of that. But but they kind of just know by like me getting booked for shows. I've been performing for so long. I've been performing for solo jump for a year. A number on that. That's like since 2015. I've been performing for a while, so, and even before that, I do a show there, here and there. So like they'd know, because they'd obviously when I was young, they give me money to go to. Cause I'm not from Dublin, and the shows I've been getting from Dublin, so they give me money to go to shows in Dublin. I come back with videos, so they kind of knew. That's why they're really supportive, because they knew that like I'm getting somewhere. So.
Yeah, were they tuning into the live streams when you were beefing with Skylar? Because I was saying that I just thought that whole thing was like good for the culture, because people that probably aren't that into like Irish hip hop or whatever were like tuning in, and I think like I'd like to see more of that shit from people, to be honest.
I was saying now, anybody that does it again is copying and riding my wave, and they shouldn't just try it, cause yeah. But nah, they didn't tune in. They didn't tune in. I'm pretty sure I blocked them on from seeing my stories before I went live. No.
There's no beef to promo the upcoming songs.
Sorry?
No beef coming up to promo the upcoming songs.
No. It wasn't even like that. The whole situation with that guy, it wasn't even like that. We just, stuff was going on behind the scenes, obviously, and then he started claiming stuff. So I just had to, put him in his place. Let's see.
No, but
what do you think of it?
I enjoyed it, like, just from a like entertainment perspective, because like I think a lot of the time people are just very nice. Everyone's just very nice to each other, and that's great. But like at the end of the day, like not everybody's not mad in love with hip hop all around the world because everyone's super nice to each other. They're like, everybody's in there because it's like super competitive and there's like rivalries and stuff. And it was clear you don't like hate each other or anything. It was just like something popped up and it was being dealt with. And then you were putting out like good bars, so it was like enjoyable for people. It's something different. And I think the culture needs not that all the time, but different things like that. You know what I mean?
The thing about the Irish scene is there's loads of fake like fake love type shit. So people will just tell you that they like your shit just so people can see them saying that they support you, but in reality, like, it's not really like that. But that's why I say what, like, if you ask me a question, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm gonna say exactly how it is, how I feel it is. So that's literally what happened with that Skyler guy.
Do you think though that like you're saying about like fake love, do you think that if people were to blow elsewhere, that people who didn't support would start try claiming them?
100%. 100%. That's what I'm trying to. That's what we're trying to do by featuring with artists from the UK, artists from America. I'm trying to do, because realistically, Ireland is not giving us urban artists the attention that we deserve, really, because we're working as hard as any other artist, and it just kind of, they sweep us under the brush or under the carpet, or they just acknowledge one person just so they can say that they kind of,
the like token one.
Yeah, exactly. But like, obviously when you blow up elsewhere, you should look at Hair Squared, like, obviously they're doing their stuff, but when they blew outside, when they got signed to Columbia, everybody started claiming Hair Squared type shit. So yeah, like,
you'll remember if you do blow, like the people that were actually supporting you, kind of thing.
Sorry?
You'll remember the people that actually did support you.
Oh yeah, 100%. I won't remember every single one of them, but
but it is true. Like for I do think that there's a thing here where people are almost like cautious to support something until it gets deemed like good by people outside. Like we need the confirmation from the States or like or the UK.
Well, this is the 20. Wait, this is 22nd century. No, 21st.
Yeah,
it's not new
decade.
New decade. Okay,
Yeah.
It's a millennium. Is it?
Millennium is 2000 onwards.
Okay. Cut that part. Shit, what was I even going to say?
We were
about
just
that?
saying about like the UK and America. Like people here feel like the only time they can support them is like after they get a cosign or something.
Yeah. So like, this is the 21st century. Like we live in everybody's sheep. Like, you know what I mean? Like before, people like to get confirmation outside before they confirm themselves. So like everyone's just following at this stage. The internet makes it so easy to do that as well. So easy to hide behind the screen as well and do that. So like,
yeah, I think people are afraid to like trust their own opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even me myself, like even like I find for example, like Drake might release a song. I know this happened before in the past. Drake will release a song. I listen to it 2-3 times by myself before I even get any opinion from my friends or anybody. And I'll say, this song's not good. And then I'll go meet my friends and they're playing the song. And then first day, second day, third day, okay, this song's, it's terrible. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like in reality, I listened to this song for the first time myself. I listened to it 3 times and I thought it was bad. But now that everybody else is hyping it, I think it's good.
Yeah.
So it's just that type of thing.
What did you think of the drill one? What's it called?
Which from who?
Drake.
War.
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
Drake's a sharp guy. Let me say that. He's a sharp guy.
Yeah.
He's catching all the waves at the start. And he's just
Do you think it's
running
sharp
with that.
or being like a vulture? Because a lot of people would say he's a vulture on like UK culture.
He's sharp. He's making his money. It's his business. It's his unique selling point. So he's making his money. That's how he's gonna do it. So
yeah, because I think we'll see like definitely like drill percussion and stuff. It's gonna start popping up in pop music now. I think like cause once he's co-signed this and like there's so many amazing producers out there that you because like even Ariana Grande had tracks with like trap drums in it. Like running hi hats and stuff. You're definitely gonna see. Probably her, dude. Like a drill song, but you know, like
with progression.
Gonna be like,
Go featuring Russ.
Yeah, like,
Drake. No, I don't think he's a vulture. I just think he's expanding. What he's doing makes him Drake. If he wasn't doing what he was doing, because he did this, it's not just with drill. He did this obviously with afrobeat when he brought Wizkid on. He did this with Spanish when he was doing other Spanish songs as well.
Oh, the dance hall stuff.
Yeah. So he's expanding himself. He's upscaling his own business.
Who would be some of the people that you try to emulate in terms of the way they've progressed, or is there anyone that's been a mentor to you or anything? In music, like, is there someone you look up to that you would sort of say, oh, I'm going to have a similar career path to them, or I'm going to sort of follow some of the moves they've made?
No.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Nah, I don't look at any, I don't like comparing myself to people. Like I'm not saying this in a cocky way. I just don't like. I feel I was in a bad place in my music when I was doing that. When I said, okay, let me, for example, this guy in the scene, let me see if I can like, you know, do what, take the steps that he took to get there, and then just not work for me. I feel like the best thing you could do is just find your own way of doing everything, like type shit. So even that with the album, there wasn't anybody that did like a multi-genre album that I knew of in Ireland. So like obviously that's a unique selling point. So like if I copied like, okay, I do hip hop, I could have easily released a hip hop album, just a fully trap album, but it probably wouldn't have been as effective as, you know, the all genre. So yeah.
Did you ever think about not splitting it into 2 halves, Organised Mess?
That decision was made a week before the drop.
Really?
Yeah, or if a few days before the drop.
Yeah, because I thought it was going to be like a full thing, and then it was only half of it came through.
Yeah. It was, but yeah. I'm happy it came out that way though, because it gave people time to digest the 2 halves. So it kind of had like 2 drops. And I didn't. Another reason why we did that is we didn't want to put all the genres mixed up, because if you really listen, the second half is where all the Afro beats and kind of like the newer styles apart from trap are. So yeah, like the set, like when we split it, it was easier just for people to know that, okay, this is this sound, but it's under the same.
I would regularly listen to the first half of it because I just prefer that, but I think it works that way.
Yeah.
That's like super coherent. That's part of the second half, super coherent. It just works like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what are your plans for 2020? Do you plan stuff out? Do you organize, or do you just go with the music and let everything else sort of fall into place?
Now we plan stuff. We plan releases. I'm just gonna be releasing singles this year, and then probably work my way up to another project. But I've singles coming out. I'm definitely gonna do my headline this year. I was meant to do it last year, but a few stuff got on the way. But you're gonna be hearing a lot from me. It's not like last year when I dropped just my album and then the Bang music video and I disappeared. You're gonna hear a lot from me this year, starting from this month. So be ready.
Keep it locked.
How do you feel that Ireland holds you back? It's a question I ask quite a lot of people, because it's evident you can't do everything here. But what do you feel like you need to go to the UK to do that you can't do here?
Huh?
I think he said.
Yeah, like they don't put, like there's no financial push like that unless it's from our own pockets. While in the UK, the government will obviously put money into their urban artists, and that you can see that by them getting onto the charts and them like doing shows, and like I'm pretty sure the urban scene is the biggest scene. Is it? I could just be saying
in
that.
London, I think it is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the rest of the country, but in London,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so you can see that there's a greater force in that whole movement. But that's what I feel like Ireland needs. Ireland just needs that push financial wise, because we can afford just everything bigger. For example, bigger music videos, bigger shows. Bigger, like, if just imagine this, there was an urban festival in Dublin. It doesn't have to be some mad festival, it could be in Bottle Factory or something, but just something that is pushed, that everybody knows that, okay, this day, and like it's pushed to an audience that we can't obviously get from the streets ourselves. So yeah, that's what I feel like is missing. That's why I feel like Ireland is kind of like a few steps behind, but we'll get there.
We were talking about that before, because I think it's mad that Longitude doesn't even have like its own stage specifically for Irish people. Like, I think that's fucking insane. There's so many people who could fill out those stages, and like, I think like, yeah, you're right. If they had like a smaller festival outside of that, but like even just that, I think, like such like a young audience that goes to it as well, would make like a massive difference.
Think of how many people you get put in front of that would love your music, because all the kids and anybody that's going to see, I don't know, fucking Denzel Curry, or they're going to see, you know, like A$AP Rocky, more than likely they're going to be
music.
It's a shame that they don't push, like, they basically, it feels like a few token gestures, you know, like, oh, we'll throw him on, but we'll throw him on at 2 PM when no one's there. When we went to see people doing Y-Axis and all, they all got like pretty shite slots, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Y-Axis went at like 3 PM, I think.
Yeah, and it's like, realistically, it's the people that make an effort to go out and see them are going to see them, but the whole point of playing at one of them festivals is to be put in front of all these thousands of people that have never heard of you before.
Yeah. It all depends on how you do it, to be honest. Like I'm not gonna tell exactly what we did, but we had the year that TED performed at Longitude, we had the biggest turnout on that stage for the 3 days of Longitude, and there was artists like Bass from Dreamville on that stage, and like we literally had a bigger, like our tent was packed out that day. But obviously the stuff that we did to make that happen, we're not gonna say exactly what that is for everyone starts copying. Well, yeah. So it depends. It depends on, like, I feel like even if they give us anything, just give us any stage, like, and the artist knows what it's doing. The artist can obviously make the most of that, but they don't give us that opportunity in the first place. They give it to some, but not all.
Because they're willing to give these slots to people like Versatile, who they like, if they'll be racist, they'll never cut them out. They'll still give them all these shows. Yeah. But I think if someone was to be homophobic, they'd cut them out straight away. Like, I think there's like a double standards when it comes to like booking people for festivals, for sure. I was talking to someone about this recently.
Yeah, I think it is like maybe like a race thing as well.
I think it is. Yeah.
Like all the people who are making those decisions are all just like old white dudes. Like,
yes. Yes.
I feel like that's part of the reason why I think it pops off more in England. Is
I feel like they just want to. I feel like, to be honest, I just feel like it's a money issue. They just want to make as much money as they can. They just want to book artists that they'll know that will make them money. So they're focusing on the big artists. Like, you have to remember, Longitude is not just us. There's obviously artists that people are actually buying tickets to come and see. So us putting us there is they're giving us more of a favor than anything, because that obviously is a platform for us. So I feel like they just need to know that. They just need to be aware of that there's loads of artists that can, fill out these stages and pull in numbers and stuff.
Yeah, I think maybe it's the kind of thing that like 15, 20 years ago you might be given the chance just because of like the music or the talent, whereas now it's like, yeah, you don't have this amount of followers, you're not going to get it.
Yeah, it is wild, because like you were saying earlier, when you were listening to music and you didn't like it, and then your friends say they all like it, and you're like, oh, maybe I do like it.
Yeah.
Or, like, when it comes to like Instagram and stuff, like I'll listen to music and I'll be like, this is trash, and then you go on their Instagram and they've got like 20k followers and you're like, am I missing something?
Yeah.
And then you have to be like, no, they've just got like people that are following their page. It means nothing to the music, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it does fuck with your head a bit, and like bookers go off that big time.
Yeah. Sometimes that doesn't even mean shit, but it is what it is. Like, it's a numbers game. I can't even lie. It's a numbers game. This music industry is a numbers game. You win awards off numbers. Everything's about numbers, really. So
yeah,
your song can be sonically the shittest song ever, but if it has the right amount of numbers, it will win awards. You get booked for shows. You get everything. So
yeah, I don't know. I just don't really know what would need to change. To be honest, at the moment,
Do you know what you need to change? You need to change people at the top. There's people at the top.
Yeah, but I think like changing people at the top, it'll take like the likes of your generation to go the whole way up, and then make sure that when you're at the top, that the people that are coming up are getting those opportunities. You know what I mean? Because you look at like, I don't know, Jamal Edwards started like SBTV, or all these other people who are now being really influential. They're making sure people get these opportunities. Before they had to get the opportunities themselves. They had to like create their own platforms and stuff. Yeah. I think it's just a time thing, really, maybe.
To be honest, we want everything handed to us as well, which is not really a good trait. But like, I don't know, the Irish music scene is just it's really weird.
In what way?
It's just weird. Like, it's because we don't have. Okay, not the music scene, the urban scene. It's just like getting us trying to break out of that bubble that like we're urban artists or underground artists. It's just really hard. I don't know why it's that hard.
Yeah,
but
because I mean, you should probably do more numbers than most other hip hop. Like, their term urban's a bit weird, but like like if you're making hip hop music or whatever you're making, and you're getting these numbers and you're still not getting the look, like what?
Yeah,
what do you have to do?
I don't know. We've done like, I don't even want to say too much because like I don't want people to have like yeah.
No, but it is true. It's one of them things. It's strange, and it's, I don't know, people sort of tiptoe around it, but there is definitely maybe it is a race thing. That, you know,
see, I don't want to pull the race card either. I don't
pull up, but I think there is an element of it.
Yeah.
In it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's because, do you know what it is? Artists like Kojak is a white Irish don. He's just white Irish don. I can call myself Irish, but when you look up Irish and whatever, you look it up in the dictionary or whatever, you don't see a black guy with dreads type shit. So, like, I feel like getting that into people's heads, that like, to be more open. There's obviously people that grew up here all their lives as well. Like, they don't know anything. My parents are from Nigeria. I can't say I'm from Nigeria because I can't remember shit. When I came here, I was like 1 or 2. Do you know what I mean? So I've been living here all my life. So this is my home type shit. Yeah. So I don't know. They don't see that. I don't think they see it at that level. They just see it as however they see it. And that's that. I feel like that's the problem. Also the fans as well. See, I don't know. I don't really like to speak on this too much because I don't know what Kojak and them did to get to where they are, and I don't want to knock whatever they did either, because they might literally have just worked harder than whatever. But I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of artists, not just myself, a lot of other artists that deserve to be at spots like that. Because we're genuinely working. It's what we want to do, and we get content out all the time. It's not like we're slacking either.
Yeah.
So
I think with Kojak is like he changed his name and he was doing stuff before, and then he got that grant as well from the uni.
I mean, we don't know the ins and outs, like obviously, but I think
he got a grant.
Yeah. What was it for?
He won a prize for a short film, so he got like a grant from RTA, I think.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's the sole reason why he's where he's at or whatever, but I do think that it's also like maybe radio and stuff and some of the bigger platforms aren't as receptive to some types of hip hop coming out of Ireland, i.e. maybe some of the black hip hop coming out of Ireland. Like I don't know. I think that maybe is something to do with it, because I would say that Kojak is far more accessible maybe to them. I don't know. Maybe that's like it's like a safer option, and I think that's why a lot of the comedy hip hop's doing well. It's because like some of it's really corny, but because it's like kind of jokey, it's like, oh well, they're just joking around.
Like easily digestible.
Yeah, it's like, and I think maybe that's potentially why. I mean, I'm just speculating, but it's a conversation that hasn't really been had. I've not really heard anybody actually talking about it, but I think it does need to be talked about.
Yeah, it does. What I would say, my experience from this issue, I feel like when MCD, for example, MCD have given me a lot of opportunities, which I'm thankful for. And when they do give me those opportunities, what I realize is I walk away, for example, if I open for an artist that they're bringing to the academy, I walk away with like 50 to 100 new fans, and they're all young white kids, do you know what I mean? And they literally fuck with my music. They'll stay there till this day type shit. So like, I feel like the higher ups need to give the us those opportunities to literally get ourselves out there so we can prove, because once they're just giving those opportunities to the likes of just the top tier all the time, then obviously what we making music for, do you know what I mean? Like we kind of feel like it kind of feels neglected or whatever the word is. But at the end of the day, like I said at the start, this is exactly why I just focus on my music, because if I start thinking about stuff like that, then it just gets too fumbled and jumbled.
I mean, ultimately, that like it's all completely out of your control. Like,
there's nothing I can do but work on the music.
It's kind of getting to the point where people can't ignore you, really, isn't it? It's like, if I mean, you might even think you're at that point now, but it's like, I think it gets to the point where in certain places where the higher ups just have to be like, fuck, they're doing so well that we need them. They're going to make us money, that kind of thing. And maybe that's a sad reality, but I think that's part of it. Yeah,
that's some. When we were at the game show yesterday, WAC 100, which is Blueface and the game's manager, were speaking to him, and just the way he was sounding, it just didn't sound like he cared about any music that has to come from Ireland or anywhere but America. So it's just one of them things where, because this is what we're saying that if we blow up in Ireland and get the enough momentum, then obviously people in America and people in England, like you said, they can't deny it type shit. So I feel like even on a smaller scale, if we do that with ourselves, just focus on ourselves in Ireland, then we'll get to a point where we'll be like, we're gaining so much traction that they can't ignore us basically as well. So
firing shots at Blueface's manager.
Yeah.
I know he watches the podcast. So, but I think it is an interesting conversation, because so much of the conversation circles around how great everything is. But it's like, for you, you're saying there are these like issues that are stopping you getting to the next level, and you don't. Maybe within your circles you're talking about them, but like the wider audience isn't really hearing a lot of this. And it's just good for perspective, I think. Yeah. I mean, what do you think? Do you think it's just, from your perspective, from what you've seen so far, how would you say, what would you say is lacking? Because I guess if you were in Manchester and stuff before, obviously there's more connections and stuff like that, but here does it just feel like people don't take it seriously enough?
Yeah, I think, especially outside the country, people definitely don't take it seriously enough. But I feel like, it seems like from a lot of artists we speak to, is that like, I don't think you are, but like a lot of people are sort of like almost desperate for mainstream recognition. And I think they do deserve it. But like, I have no idea like what it is that's stopping them, because I feel like those same radio DJs will play like they'll play hip hop and drill or whatever, but like just not the Irish stuff. Like I think what you said earlier about like them not seeing you as Irish is like super interesting. I think like not with our generation, I don't really think that's as much.
Not with ours, but like the The ones before. Because
you are Irish.
yeah, and the crazy thing about Ireland is my generation is the first generation of foreigners in the country type shit. So like before, like for example, my friends, their parents wouldn't have went to school with any black people, but obviously their children now are going to school with black people. And if I stay in this country, I'll give birth to whatever mixed race or whatever color my child comes out to be, and they'll go to school with Irish people. So eventually it'll get integrated, just like the way England became integrated. So it's a slow process, but we have to also remember that we're just starting in the long run look of it. Because how long have black people been integrating into the UK? Years.
I don't know, like since like the early 1900s.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to be an issue, but I feel like that is one of the main reasons why subconsciously they're not including us and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough question. I mean,
it's a touchy question as well.
It'd be interesting to actually just ask like some of the higher ups and stuff, like genuinely like what they thought, like why they wouldn't play that kind of thing.
To be honest, I probably think they're not even listening. Like,
yeah,
honestly,
100%.
Reality of it is as well, like for example, you had a song in like Mixtape Madness, like they're not fucking looking on Mixtape Madness for their shit, and which is a shame because I just think they're maybe out of touch with what's going on. But I think it's like, as a journalist, there's like a duty of care to actually go out and look for this kind of stuff, especially if you're on radio. Like the traditional methods of getting sent stuff by press just isn't enough anymore. Like all the best stuff I find generally is not sent to me by like people with press agents because people can't afford that shit. You know, it's sent by artists themselves, or they DM me on Instagram or something. It's like, I've dropped this new tune, and I think maybe some people are out of touch in that way.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, because I think even without like separating the race thing, like the PX guys, like they're all white, and like like Hazy just dropped that album, and that hasn't really got that much recognition. Like I think I don't know what it is, because I don't feel like it would be like an instant. Like, oh, like you get played on the radio and you're suddenly gonna be able to sell out bigger venues. Like, I don't feel like that.
No, there's work behind it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not even when I'm talking about this. I'm not even talking about the artists that just make music over. Like, I'm talking about the people that, some of my friends that have been making music for years. That like, literally all they do is music. All they want to do is music. But we feel like we live in a place where the opportunity is not here for us. So sadly, we need to start venturing into other things. And in the long run, a lot of people are going to start dropping off or getting turned off doing music in the long run. That's going to be very unhealthy for just the Irish scene and just the scene in general, because it'll be a thing where we could have been this, but we're not. So I don't know. But on the other hand, though, it's getting better. We can't talk about the bads and not talk about the goods.
Yeah, for sure.
It's getting like we're getting booked for a show. I mean, shows. We're getting plays on the radio now. Before we weren't even getting listened to. When they send the song to the radio, they wouldn't even listen to the song. But now they're for example, RT Pulse, or RT2 FM. The main for me, they've been showing the most love to the urban artists. So stuff like that. And obviously your Mabfield, and then Sold Out, and then even when it comes to partying, like Sicko in Tramline and stuff like that, just integrating. If they're not going to give it to us, then we need to integrate it into ourselves. Like, you know what I mean, just push it as hard as we can. And then eventually, because before any of these platforms were up, and before, Sicko, like, people really didn't even know that there was Irish artists that make hip hop music. So,
maybe in like 2 years we'll look back and be like, oh, what were we worried about?
Like, I think it is just good to have the conversation, and like, even if there is doubts, it's just like, this is like a record, isn't it? So like in 5 years or whatever, you can look back and be like, fuck, we were thinking this and that never happened, or we were so right. I think it's just cool to have sort of documentation of it as well. But like that got pretty deep. That was good though. But
I think we can just leave it there.
I think we can leave it there. Like that was a really good chat. But thanks for coming up.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
You got anything you want to plug before we go?
No Cap Evans Jr. featuring Andre Fazaz and Scars, my boy from London. He's only 16. Crazy guy. Dropping on the 28th of this month. Shock You featuring Jordan Adetunji, JLOL, dropping in the middle of March next month. And yeah, music video coming for No Cap 2, shooting that next week. So yeah, should be good. This year is gonna be. I have a lot of songs. I record like 4 or 5 songs every single day. So I try to narrow those songs down to like what songs like I feel are the best, and that's why I have to trust Solo's ear as well, because like I just get jumbled on all my songs. So I have a lot of songs. I have a lot of content. I'm just trying to figure out which way I can package it the best to put it out there.
Yeah, sounds good.
Unreal. But yeah, we'll leave it there. Cheers for coming.
Yeah,
peace.